TV. It's Thursday night. It's time for GG Gaming Gone Mad. Apologies for the late start. 100% my fault. I sent Gary Lentin the link to the handicap studio, so he was sitting in the wrong studio. And thankfully, he messaged me, and we managed to figure that one out. So, Gary, thanks very much for joining us. I sent you the link to the wrong show. You were in the handicap studio the next show, half an hour early for that one. Gary, good to see you. Gary, I'm sorry, I can't hear you. I don't know if the other guys can, and I've got absolutely zero sound from you there. I'll just ask the guys to comment on the live chat if you can hear Gary, and also while you're at it, if you can hear me, because I couldn't pick up any sound there. You there, Gary? Can you hear me? Sure, but I can't hear Gary at all. Gary, your sound seems to be off. We have to maybe, let me just check with the guys. Only Gary, guys. Yeah, they can't they can't hear Gary. They're going to have to use sign language. But anyway, Gary, while you're fiddling with that, I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to start off with the first trivia question for the boys, because tonight we did say we're going to give away 5 vouchers. And see, we've got quite a lot of guys in the live chat. Who says they can? Brad saying, "Kan nie hear Gary nie." Excellent Afrikaans and English combined there. He should work for 94.7. I'm going to ask you the first trivia question now, guys. And it'll be a case of the first one to get it goes wrong. Gary, show me his phone. Can you hear yourself, Gary, on that? It's an interesting one, this. We haven't been able to pick up Gary there. Let me just message him on here. And while he's at that, let's get on to the first question. Gary will be able to see it. This is the least you're ever going to hear of Gary in a show. But this is for a 500 Rand voucher. Now, the first guy to get this correct will get a 500 Rand voucher. It's a rugby trivia question. I'm going to show it up on the screen as well. And let's see if any of you can get it. I'm just laughing at the situation here. Right. There's the question, guys. In Rugby World Cup 1995, the Boks beat Western Samoa 42-14 in the quarters. Which SA player kicked 3 conversions and 2 penalties? Right, let's have a look. I've given that on there. And let's have a look at the guys coming. Gary's trying to come in again, potentially. I'm just checking. I haven't muted you, Gary. No. Let me mute you and unmute you again. So I should be able to hear you, all things being equal. Okay, we've got some guys coming in here. I can tell you guys, all wrong so far. Johan, Nathan, Nico, Vin, and Stephen Marks is our winner, guys. We've got a winner. I think it's about the 6th guy to come in there. Stephen Mark, he's come up with the answer, which was Gavin Johnson there is the answer to that one. So he kicked 3 conversions and 2 penalties for South Africa in that quarterfinal. Gary, I'm going to give you a chance to try and say something. I've got no idea why we can't hear you, though. I'll tell you what, Gary, you're going to have to ask me the questions on WhatsApp. I'll message you now. I'm going to have to ask the questions on WhatsApp, and we can get the guys to answer. Can we? In fact, Gary, I'm going to call you, and then they'll be able to hear you. Let me WhatsApp call you. Right, so the first winner, just to confirm there, well done. It was. I hope I am right in that he was first out with the correct answer. Stephen Marks, very well done there. I'm just going to put you on speaker, Gary.
Yeah, I've got you there. I think I should do Brent Graham, log off and log back on. The photo that I sent, can you see what it says? It says everyone can see it. Yeah.
Yes, it's strange, and the guys in the live chat reckon they can't hear a thing, and I didn't mute you or anything like that, so I'm not sure what the problem is.
Okay, so let me log off and try and get that. Give me a minute,
okay? Okay, 100%. Thanks. Right, Gary is going to try and log on. We've got a couple more questions lined up for you as well. Just welcome to all the guys in the live chat. We've got a nice turnout there. We're interested to see what Gary comes up with. Let's just hope he comes back with a bit of sound. I will just bring up, I just want to take you through the price boost for the weekend, and let's just take this Gavin Johnson banner down. So you can see there, the price boost for the weekend Any one of the test matches starting on 22nd of August, Sri Lanka, England, Australia, West Indies, and India, any test match draw, special price 15 to 10. Now, I think that's probably already run, but I think Gary wanted to discuss something about that, which is why I brought it on. So let's see if when he comes in, we can talk about that. He's back in the studio. Let's hope we got some sound. Gary?
Can you hear me?
That's it. You're back.
Okay, great. Evening, everybody.
Excellent. Hey, good to see you, Gary. We've had our first winner already, as you could probably tell. Just to mention, I bought that price boost up. If you want to chat about that straight away, I was just doing that while we were waiting for you to come back in.
I mean, how brilliant is that? We have a price boost. All 3 games, the start was delayed. So you could have backed anyone to be a draw, and all 3 games were delayed starts, I thought that was quite interesting there. The actual price, what I found interesting as well, the actual price, Brent, if you took all 3 draws and worked out percentages-wise, was a bit less than 6 to 10. And we laid so little. We laid, I think we held like 2,000 Rand, if that, on this whole big price boost. You know what I'm saying? The guys that got involved, they got a big chance in the Sri Lanka game, I guess, That was always going to be the one that had a chance. It was 18 to 10 to start off with. So, yeah, not enough rugby players taking advantage of some of these things.
Yeah, the guys have got to look. I suppose at the moment, Gary, it's the wrong time of year to try and get guys away from rugby punting, isn't it, with the World Cup coming? We can see Johan Loebscher joined us on the show. There, he's talking about rugby, even though we haven't brought it up yet. England -5.5 at 9 to 10. Put and take, he reckons.
It could very well be right. I mean, yeah, I actually like England. I must be honest. I really do, But there are a lot of other games that we're going to have to get to here as well, Brent. I mean, let's be perfectly honest, the other game that's taking place in Europe is quite interesting. I mean, I haven't really looked at it yet because I've been busy with other stuff. But, I watched a bit of Scotland and France last week. And it was like men against little boys. That's the truth. You know what I'm saying? It looked like France could win by over 100 points, Yet now I see this week that the favourites are Scotland. What's going on there, Brent?
Well, I must say, yeah, I've looked at that game. And I think we've got to be careful on all of these World Cup warm-up games, Gary. And I see Scotland, I think, about -2.5. And I can see this being a totally different game. First up, I was very impressed with France. They really did impress me last week. I know Scotland were coming out of a very tough training camp. And I wouldn't be surprised if they had pushed themselves really hard in that. They were a little bit flat, just 15, 20% off, maybe more last week. They were really poor. And I think when they play back at home now, it's going to be a totally different match. And I actually think, by the same token, I don't think France are going to be as up for it. And I reckon that Scotland win this and they beat the handicap, Gary.
Oh, do you? Okay, I'm going to listen to that. I've got no feeling whatsoever. Okay, and Henry, so 2 great minds thinking alike there. I'm not going to ignore that.
Just throw a third mind in there.
There you go. 3. It's getting more and more rubber stamps as we go on. Fortune changes to Scotland. Okay.
Excellent. Well, we don't have too much time, obviously, because I've got my rugby show coming up. So we've still got a good 15 minutes to chat, though, Gary. And we're giving away the 1 voucher. I've got another World Cup trivia question lined up for later on. But I know you had some other things in mind, and I can tell you that there are quite a few new guys. I've certainly seen some new names. I know you did want to give one of the voucher away to a new guy, or perhaps someone who was going to open up. And maybe we just make the ground rule as well that we only have a maximum of 1 voucher per person. Although if people are struggling to get the answer, we can potentially open it up for someone else.
Okay, so let's do it this way. Let's go with the new guys that are watching the show. So if you've ever won a prize before from us, we'll exclude you from this one. There's still another 3 coming for our regulars, so nobody's going to really be left out. You know what I'm saying, Brent?
Yeah, no, for sure.
All right. Okay, let's see where we're going to go there. John Dobson has been on phone. Okay, I'm going to make it a real simple one.
Okay.
I can't think of something that's so simple. Okay, let's go with this. There were 2 course records broken last week at the golf in the US.
Right.
Who broke the first one, the course record? What did he score? And who broke the second one? And what did he score?
Right, so we'll have to assume we'll have to have some golf fans amongst the new guys there. While they're talking there, Gary, let's just talk quickly about the Tour Championship. But I forgot to get my bet on. I wanted to bet Koepka at 5-1. I see your man, first of all, Justin Thomas, you tipped him on the show last week. I think he hadn't teed off yet. And, I mean, he cruised home last week. And, of course, there's a staggered start now in the Tour Championship. What do you make of that?
Look, I'll be honest with you. I had a really nice win on Justin Thomas. But it's hard to say I wasn't that impressed. But hit a lot of bad shots, I must be honest. Things just really worked his favour. And I'm not convinced that he's going to win it. You know what I'm saying? I'm really not.
How How about that one? Gerard Oosthuizen.
That's fine. What's Thomas's surname?
Thomas's first name?
That's fine. That's 100% correct, Gerard Oosthuizen. 100%. You get your voucher. You just got to, you know what I mean? I did say it would be simple, you know, but very nice. I'm happy that he won it. And yeah, and I see that. And I think that Matsuyama shot 63 again in the second round. And he's my tip to win this week without the handicap. We had 2 bets there this week. So you could either bet who won the Tour Championship, or you could bet who's going to win it outright, starting off level. And obviously, we had dead heat rules apply there because there wouldn't be a playoff if Matsuyama, for argument's sake, tied with Louis Oosthuizen and they didn't quite reach Justin Thomas's handicap. So obviously, we'd do that, and we're going to probably bet live in running on both markets throughout the week. I'll be honest with you, I don't like Justin Thomas. I don't think he's going to win the FedEx Cup.
Yeah, I must admit, I do like I like Kipka. You know, for me to get 5-1 on Kipka when he starts within a few shots of the lead, and you know he's going to be up there. I do like him, although I did look at his course form wasn't particularly good.
No.
Just a word to J Dubs, who also got the answer correct. Unfortunately, was a little bit slow, and that's two vouchers gone now. Stephen Marks and Gerard Oosthuizen.
We don't want to, you know what I mean? He's a new guy, you know what I mean? We don't want to just throw him away. Let's give J Dubs 250 there, Brent.
J Dubs 250. Well done, J Dubs. Welcome to the show. 250. That's a nice. It's a lacquer way for you to start. And just Zach Block just mentioning he likes Rory. So Gary, before we get on to the next comp, just to talk, we are jumping around a bit just purely because of time. But the big soccer game this weekend, of course, it's a top of the table clash in the English Premier League.
Yeah, correct. Liverpool at home to Arsenal. Long time since Arsenal have been involved in a top of the table clash. They are every season. They start the season at the top just because of alphabetical order. But the minute they play the first game and get hammered 2-0, they drop down to like the bottom half. But they're generally there out of merit this time, and they've got 6 points out of 2 games. Liverpool also, you know what I mean, full house out of 2 games. What we've seen so far, you've got to think that Liverpool will shave it. But I'm still an Arsenal fan, and until they let me down this season, I'm going to continue going with them. And I'm going to say, okay, there you go. Jay, what type of bowler do you think I was when I played cricket for the first side at Highlands North Boys High School? What type of bowl? I was predominantly a batsman, but when I did bowl, what type of balls did I bowl? Let's see if you can get that one, Jay. Look, Brent, if you're a professional punter, you've got to go for Liverpool to go back there. I'm hoping that, you know what I mean, Arsenal somehow can tidy up the back and score on the break. They've got a lot of guys that can score goals. It will be more than 2.5 goals in the game. That's the only bet that I'm going to have. I'm going to go for over 2.5. Over
2.5 goals there. I can tell you, Brendan O'Connell mentioned he's actually in Singapore at the moment. He's in a hotel room. You got any ideas where you can go out and have a bit of entertainment, Gary?
Yeah, but it's a family show. You'll have to get hold of me afterwards, you know. And the places I go, I can guarantee you the girls are girls. I've paid my school fees, you know. Normal place. Not bad, eh? Not bad, eh? Okay.
You got right arm slow there.
Oh, your monkey just left. You had a nice 500 Rand gift for a while. That just left. And we'll push. No, we're only joking, man. You've got your. Jason Denman, just what we needed. Another comedian. I'll tell you now. Trevor Noah is so lucky that these guys are still in South Africa. Otherwise, it's 430 million Rand. That sort of would be under pressure. No, that's all very good. Look, I did start off as a leg break bowler, and then I did become an off break bowler. So knock Mr. Dubs there up to a monkey, Brent.
Right. Okay. J Dubs up to a monkey. Well done. I'll just make a note because otherwise I'll be scrambling on this one. Poor old Kerry's going to be giving out free bets left, right, and centre. Gary, what else are you're sitting in Zurich at the moment? Are you? Was it Zurich?
No, it's an interesting story that I was meant to be in Zurich, but I'm actually at home in Cape Town. I was going to ask a question, where was I? But I happened to bump into Zach the other day in the lift of our apartment building. So he would have been there quickly, you know. That's it. Sean Nicholas has also been to Singapore. No, sorry, he's talking about something completely different. No, Brent, I'm just so busy that I actually postponed the trip and everything. I'm not going to go to Switzerland. I didn't go to Switzerland on Friday. I'm still in Cape Town. And I'll probably go there just when things quieten down a little bit. You know, we've got this interprovincial poker tournament next weekend. The sports business and the horses are really, really busy. You know, with the World Cup rugby coming on, there's so many doubles and people looking for stuff every day. We haven't touched on the Curry Cup. I mean, that's perhaps the most interesting of all the rugby that's happening this weekend. 3 really close games. We've got all 3 games there. without any handicaps at GGGaming. Not one of them's got a handicap. They're all going there outright off level. You know what I'm saying? I think that they're all going to be close game. We've got a great Ashes game. We're really busy with our live in play run lines all the time, eh, Brent? We bet on 3. The difference between us, when you're talking about T20 or 50 over, there's 1 run line, right? The team goes in there first, and that's it. Here we bet on 3 run lines. We bet on the first 3 innings. We've got run lines in play the whole way, and it's a really, really busy part of our business to play run markets, and it's just more important for me to be here right now than to be in Switzerland.
It's not the time to be traveling. But that Curry Cup you mentioned, I mean, that's going to be interesting. Just to mention to all the guys who are potentially first timers on the show, join us live o'clock at 9 o'clock for the handicap rugby chat that matters. We'll be going through all the rugby fixtures in some detail there. But Gary, what can you tell us? Any money come on the Curry Cup?
Yeah, the money's all come for Western Province. Obviously that was always going to happen. Henry's got a lot of. He's confident this weekend, eh?
He's confident. I can't wait to hear what he says on the show. He's very confident.
He is. You know what I'm saying? Johan, very good. So let's just think about this. I think the money came from Stormers to go back there. Sorry, because once they said they were going to play their Springboks, but let's be honest, they're not playing. You know what I mean? It's not as though they've thrown Peter Steph, du Toit, and Esterbeth in the team. No criticism to the guys that are there, but I think that's false money, Brent. I'm not sure that Western Province should be shortening. You know what I mean? And then again, the money's come for the Sharks as well. Sharks have become favourite on our side also. You know,
I do like the Sharks there a little bit. I see Henrik is quite bullish on the Griquas, as is Sean. I also fancy the Griquas. I think Griquas are consistently underrated, even though they're not underdogs now. They're consistently underrated by the bookies, and I do fancy the Griquas there.
Did I say last week that I thought they had the wrong favourite there? I think I even mentioned that to you on the show,
You did.
I thought they should be 10, Nicola,
let's
say Christmas. I mean, that one I'm not convinced about. I like the Griquas. I really do.
Yeah.
I like the Sharks. But this Western Province game, I'm not convinced. You know what I'm saying? You could easily be right, Nico, but
I fancied the Free State a bit there. But Gary, okay, so how many vouchers have we still got to give away? 3.
We still got 3 to give away. We've got to do something, right?
Yeah, 3. You want to do something, and then I'll ask my World Cup question.
Okay, I'll do something now. Okay, I'm gonna put it. Let's just one simple, yeah. Right. Quickly, the first oak to give an answer. We all know that Archer got 6 wickets. How many runs did he give away in the first innings?
How many runs did Archer give away? I'll bring up some of the answers as they come up, Gary.
Well, they shouldn't get it wrong. Let's be perfect. The first guy should get it correct. You know what I'm saying?
Let's see. There's about a 15-second delay, so the answers will start coming in now. And nothing yet. It was a fine bowling spell. I mean, I did see bits of it. I didn't actually see that he'd got 6, but a hell of a bowling spell.
He doesn't bowl right time off breaks. That I promise you.
That's for sure. Right, here we go. Let me start from they're racing in here, and they're all different. So I'll start here at the top. 44 with Neil.
Close.
8.
Sean, stop drinking. Well done, Brad.
Brad Young, 45. Just skimming down, we had a lot of answers here. I think Brendan was a bit out. What do you think?
What?
300. J Dubs, okay, he was second again on that one. So Brendan in the end came back with another one. Yeah, well done. So 35. So who's our winner there? I have to remind myself now. Brad Young, well done, Brad.
Right,
you're a winner there.
Question there, Brent.
Hey,
you got your World Cup question.
Yes, let's go with the World Cup question now. This one I think is easier than the first one, but we'll see. And here it is. In 2007 Rugby World Cup, which player scored the most tries and how many did he get? So let's see what the boys come up with that one. I mean, Gary, just quickly on the World Cup. Yeah, I can't wait for some of the exotic markets, top try scorer and that. It's really going to be a hell of a tournament from a betting point of view.
It is. It really is, Brent. I mean, it's closer than people think. I know there was a great performance from the World Cup last year. You know what I'm saying? I mean, from the All Blacks last week, I wasn't concentrating.
Yes.
A great performance, But for me, I haven't been convinced because the big difference is, yes, I'm not saying that the All Blacks can't have great performances. They can all the time. But I just fear that they got a bad performance in them somewhere. And, if that doesn't come in the first match against South Africa, then it's going to come out in the knockout stages. And then, then they're going to, I don't know, have banned 15 tries.
Yeah, well, I tell you what, he's pretty close. The boys are pretty. I thought this would be an easier one. We've got a winner. I can see down there already. I just want to check that I am closest. And here's our winner, a banner 8 tries, Vin Naidu. Well done,
Right.
Vin. You're the first guy to get that. I hope I am correct. I'd quickly research that before the show. And just to have a look down, well done. Nico also got that one. A lot of guys got a banner, but actually not many getting the 8 tries. We're getting some pretty high numbers thrown in there. And no, it definitely wasn't Yori Muller with no tries. That's for sure. But yeah, some good answers coming in there. But well done then, Vin Naidu winning the next 500 Rand voucher, which leaves us with one left to give away, Gary.
We'll do now. I just want to say something. We're going to launch our new punter series next week. I'm going to do it on the show here. It's really great. It's 500 Rand entry with re-entries all the way. But we're going to have weekly prizes as well, Brent. And I know that today we haven't really got into the show and given too many tips here, but we have had a lot of input from the guys in the chat, you know what I mean? And we've had, you know what I mean, really worthwhile input, you know what I mean? You know, when you guys got guys like Henrik and you and everybody else saying that they all like Requas and everything, you know, pleasure anytime, Vin. You know what I'm saying? That's worth a lot. And next week, you know, you and I will be worth a little bit more in what we tip and everything. But obviously, England look hard to beat in this cricket match now. That looks like one of my better tips of the weekend. I definitely like the Sharks. I definitely like the Requas. I've definitely now been convinced that Scotland will win easy, so that's good. But the other thing I want to do from next week, Brent, is I want to start having a competition where I give away points every single week. And eventually the winner will get a 5,000 or even a 10,000 Rand free bet for the Rugby World Cup, okay? Depending on how many legs they get right the whole way through. But
that sounds great. Yeah, that's a great idea.
If they miss a show, they got no chance. You know what I'm saying, Brent? They have to log in 5,000 or 10,000, depending how many they get right. And the more people that watch the bigger I'm going to give the prize. You know what I'm saying? So let's do that. All right, my question is simple. It's a horse racing one. I'm steering away from the rugby. The 3 races that make up the American Triple Crown. And you've got to get all 3 right. What
the
are
American
they?
Triple Crown.
We could easily end up going right into your next rugby show with this question. But let's see where it is. But yeah, so we got a lot of action planned, you know.
No, we certainly will. I think that's a great idea, and it'll be great to run that along. I've got a few ideas to chat to you about before the Rugby World Cup as well.
You said about battle. I mean, if you want to give me a shout tomorrow, that will be great. They're 5-1, Johan. If you phone tomorrow, you phone GGGaming tomorrow and tell them you spoke to me and I must give you a special and lay you 7-1. Just for you, you can do that. There'll be 7-1 waiting for you tomorrow, Johan.
Johan, 7-1 waiting for you. Then get that. We haven't had any answers yet on the horse racing. Let's see. Just to mention to Henrik and Gerard, if he's watching the show, I have sent you guys the link. You're welcome to wait for me in the studio. Let's have a look. We got Zach Block says Preakness Stakes in Kentucky.
Preakness?
And then he's got Stakes in Kentucky and Preakness.
He's writing too many games. He's disqualified. No, he's wrong. Stakes. Kentucky Derby. There you go.
Okay, Jay's already won a voucher tonight, so
No, you can't disqualify him. You've got to give him 2 500 Rand vouchers. You know what I'm
saying? Is he in? Okay, no, I'm happy with that. So is he right?
Yes, he's 100% correct. These guys are going to have to lift their game to beat Jay going forward. Am I right, Brent?
Yeah, no, Jay Dubs has come out. He's come with a rattle in his first show. I mean, if this guy plays the big competition you're launching next week, we could all be in trouble.
No. Everybody, Henrik, you need to, you know what I mean? All of you guys got to go and work on your game because the big prizes are coming next week. And Jay's definitely, I don't want to say in it to win it. That's starting to sound, that is what I was saying.
Doesn't Zach live above you, Gary?
Yeah, he lives a bit above his means. Yeah.
You're going to have to answer to him for that one, I'm afraid.
You know, Zach lives in a penthouse on the top floor.
Sure, but I'm being told maybe I got the wrong, but I can go back and check that Sean had it first. Oh, sure, but there were so many comments coming through, I missed it. Sorry, Jay. Sean went Kentucky Derby, Preakness, and Belmont.
Okay, you're going to have to sort this one out, Brent. You know what I mean? I'm not the judge. Good luck to you. Guys, have a wonderful punting week. Brent will sort out the final 500 Rand voucher. Next week, whatever we gave away this week is going to seem like peanuts, guys. We're starting the big stuff next week. Tell your mates to log on to the show. I promised Brent that we'd have double the numbers before the Rugby World Cup came on. Don't let me down, guys. And also, if you've got friends that want to punt at a really fair generous online site. Go to gggaming.bet. I promise you they won't get a better deal anywhere else. 7-1 England for my mate tomorrow. We'll speak to you guys all next week.
Excellent, Gary. Thanks very much. Johan, take that 7-1 England. Guys, we'll see you in about 3 minutes for the other show. I'm going to make a ruling on that one. Sean was the first, and at the end of the day, the first one wins. J-Dub did win a voucher early in the show. You both get 500 Rand vouchers. Well done, guys, and we'll see you in about 3 minutes for the handicap rugby chat that matters. Thanks to all the boys in the live chat. It was a great show. Perhaps 5 vouchers is a bit hectic to give away in such a small period of time. But I'm sure we'll do some good, fun things with Gary leading up into the World Cup. If you haven't subscribed yet, go down below and do so. And we'll see you in about 2 minutes and 30 seconds.